Uh, really enjoyed it yesterday. We miss it. We played just a ton of it at the beginning of the season. We changed the sideboard a little bit. We cut out the Sweltering Suns. I just never really liked that card in this match, and we just maxed out on Magma Sprays and Chandra's Defeats to try to beat the mono red deck. Um, Probably should have some Prowlers and some stuff to try to beat blue black control, but nah, just think we're decent enough versus those decks anyway. Even not great, but again, I don't really like the sideboard. In reality, I probably shouldn't have either Glorybringer, and I should probably cut 1 to 2 of these for a couple Prowlers, maybe a third tracker. But we're just experimenting a little, so we're going to keep going. Hey Dumbo, how are you today? I noticed, I think you were watching Goth a second ago before I become live, or before I went live. Let's turn that volume off before people cry. People do not like moto sounds. That's right, people. You people. We get to start off match 1, game 1 today with a mulligan. Yep, this hand's just what you call not good. A 20 lands over 3 draw steps though. Whatever, I'll keep it. It's not good. It's not a very good keep either. The Fling's almost like a mulligan in this hand already. And we're versus our worst match, so oh well. I like how apparently this last week's going to be all mono red. That's the 3rd mono red match we've got paired versus in our last 6 matches. Kind of a small sample size, but well, we'll play the one we care if it dies the least. Him not having an additional 1-drop or a 2-drop of any kind pretty much means he has a Hazard in his hand. Or a Chandra, like he's going to have a payoff 4 spell. Didn't have a good 3-drop either. I've not read the host spoiler yet. We'll go ahead and start with the Servant. Can protect it with the Blossoming Defense. Try to get a block in with it. And if it survives, we can cast a Hydra either way. I've not read the new spoiler at all yet. I saw a few cards like spoiled on Twitter and stuff, and like with each one of them I read, I only wonder over and over like how do these how do these new cards beat Teamer, or how do they beat Mono Red or whatever. So he is exerting. If he has a shock, we are not happy. No shock, so can get rid of his extra card draw and go down to 9, which is not very good for us, but yeah, so the 2 cards in his hand were lands. But can't let him get more cards either way, and this thing can attack next turn anyway. Might not have needed to play that land, but and if he drew a Hazoret on those last 3 cards, like we don't even have an out. So we don't even have an out now. I guess there's some world where we could win, but I don't really know what that world is. You have to have, like, land in his hand. Well, it was the land at least. Yeah. But we have to kill that thing. So in theory, an invigorated Rampage could win this game. One time? Have 6 outs. The larger than life could win too. That is none of those outs. The game was closer than I thought it would be, but it was because their hand was so bad. Like, they drew 8 land and 16 cards. Alright, so let's try all of these cards this time. Get rid of the Pummelers, get rid of all of the pump spells. Then we'll have to put 2 more things in to have a random amount of power and toughness, but... Oh, I don't want the Flings either. I guess I have to put a lot of things in with power and toughness. I think on the play, I'm going to try 1 Glorybringer. How you been doing, Dumbo? Still doing a lot of gothing? I've not saw you stream in a while. Anyway, so we'll play first. Hand's not good, but I think it's good enough. I think it's good enough just barely. Think when you have such a bad match, you have to keep greedier keeps. Oh wow, that's terrible, man. Hope you feel better. Alright, so we're not going to cast this into just shock. We're going to leave up a Harness Lightning and try to get a little energy. And for some reason, if he didn't play anything, we just used a Shelter. So yeah, he'll be able to kill this with like an Abrade, anything that does 3 damage, but wonder if it's ever okay to just start attacking in this spot. Feels like it's okay to start attacking here. Yes. We misclicked yesterday and clicked no. Because in my mind it was like, no, do you want to destroy it? I'm like, God, no, I don't want to destroy it. I want to keep bringing the thunder. That was kind of a good draw. Do I want to pay the 2? Why, yes. We want to keep bringing the thunder. Let's see what our opponent comes out here. This hand's worked out pretty well so far. Like, considering the shape we were in and everything. Yeah, probably just going to take this 3. think it'll be hard for him to kill both of our guys this turn at least. Hope you feel better. Incendiary flow, so I could harness lightning to Crasher and then use 4 energy on the Lone Tusk Cub. That feels okay. Definitely kind of feels okay. Doesn't feel great, but it feels okay. If for some reason he uses a shock or something to finish off the Cub here, we could save this guy. We could just let this guy die and not care as well. But I think where we have the magma spray, I just want to make him spend an additional spell to try to kill the Lone Tusk Cub. Well, the way he phrased that lets us keep 2 energy for some reason. Probably neither of the above. That would be my assertion. So this guy gets to survive 1 more turn. Hello, Ring Soda. How are you? Kinda just want to do 7? Yeah, I think I just want to do 7 damage here. We get to kill the Lafnium Helium 1 more time. Or get to protect it 1 more time. And like I said, I feel like we have to try to get a little lucky to begin with. Chandra, Glorybringer, all those cards are great here. Hazard's pretty good here too. Especially if he has another spell to protect it. Well, let's go ahead and Magma Spray that. Voltaic Brawler. Sure. Gives us 2 energy to keep the Hylian around 1 more turn. If he had a shock or something, we would have got blown out there, but if he had a shock, we were not winning that game either way, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Alright. So opponent is leaving himself dead to a second Hylian. And we can't attack this turn. We're already dropping a lot of frames again today. I have no idea why. Glorybringer would be a good draw. Yeah, Harness Lightning may be good. Who knows? Let's see what happens here. Oh, he drew a shock. Well, that was, quite frankly, one of the best things he could draw. So we're at a major disadvantage now. My guy was dead anyway, I didn't have the energy. We did sideboard in 1 Glorybringer, so we still have an out. One time? Nope. Too many lands in our 21 land deck. 8 without drawing the tune in our top 16 cards. A little unfortunate. But like I said, I don't expect to win this match very often anyway. And we didn't draw any of our good spells in the match, so we definitely don't expect to win it when we're not drawing our Bristling Hydras. Or our Greenbelt Rampagers. Those two cards I consider the good cards in this match. Oh. Anybody else watch the Star City event? See that Jeskai sweetness? We got a nice little 4-1 with this deck yesterday, but we played versus a bunch of ramp decks. I was kind of surprised to see two of them in the finals. Well, it's time for another match. We didn't win the dice roll, and we only have one creature. In other words, rip. We'll keep it though. It's good enough to keep, even though it's pretty bad. It's actually probably not good enough to keep. It's like probably right on the edge that I'm supposed to mulligan. And it's mono red again. Yeah, it's 4 out of 7 rounds. We're just not going to win ever if we just keep getting paired versus these. Sure. So, like, this game's already over. He could let me demonic tutor the rest of this match and I would not win this game. If his draw's average, I mean, there's some times where he just has like 4 lands or whatever. We could beat that, but we would not beat an average draw. Excuse me. Alright. We'd have just played this on turn 2 if we had any idea we were going to draw a 2-drop, but that's not how Magic works. Of course he had double removal spell. Yeah, at least he didn't have a Hazard. He's going to get to draw 3 more cards. Like, I probably can't even beat the board from here. what did they draw? Just a land. I guess that's good, but as I said, we're so far behind now, I don't even know if that matters. Down to 5, effectively 3 with his runes in play. He didn't play an additional creature there of any kind. I guess he could have drew 5 lands. He has 6. He doesn't have an instant. So I guess there's some chance. Yeah, so there's no chance really. There's still some chance. I guess if he has nothing, an Invigorated Rampage would do it. Okay. Well, that doesn't change anything. Doesn't change my out at all. I still have to draw an Invigorated Rampage. Alright. Sometimes you get lucky. I literally just said I couldn't win if I could Demonic Tutor every turn, and our opponent just didn't play anything the rest of the game. So this thing becomes like a million now. Okay. 10, 20, 40. Alright. I will take absolutely absurd luck. Even drew 4 extra cards. I have no idea how we won that game. Whatever. Like I said, we have to get extremely lucky to win that match. I might actually just leave all the Pummeler stuff in when I'm on the play for game 3. I actually want this. I want the 1 random Glorybringer. I don't actually want the Glorybringer either, do we? Or 1 random thing that can block, I guess. Whee! Why am I still dropping frames? Oh wow, well this hand is absolutely amazing. Ish. Sounds like the best, worst hand I could ever have. Red Rover, send us a forest on over. Hello, forest. This hand is not good. Have enough energy, I can just slam a cub too, which is always fun. Meh. I guess this block's just the same, right? Now that one can get exiled by shock, and it's worse versus additional Kenras. This one's at least good versus additional Kenras. And good versus shock, but it's still bad versus Collective Defiance, Cropper, and the whole 9 yards. Yeah, it's definitely not unhappy to have this hand. I guess he's wanting to eat 2 of my energy with something. I'm fine with that. It prevents 4 damage even if he does have a shock now. I am super okay with that. Yeah, I think we'll just continue to go down that same path. You still can't shock it. How you doing, by the way? MNC? I think it's the first time I saw you around here. And I probably pronounced that poorly, which is why I got shy and like said it kind of under my breath. I block again. Every time that he makes this little trade, he's saving me 4 damage. So I'm pretty okay with getting saved 4 damage over and over. I'm gonna start with the Hydra. Yeah, I like the Hydra. It's good versus. It's better versus Cropper. And this is the one turn we can sneak it in guaranteed, and not worry about him having a spell. Alright, sure. So that's a Cropper. He again doesn't have an attack. Wow. He's trading that for just 3 energy. I'm fine with that. I'll be getting 3 energy back next turn anyway. So our opponent has ran exceptionally bad. Play this little dude for energy. Play this dude for some energy. And play this dude for some energy. And by energy, I mean I'm going to get his face. Alright, well we got lucky and beat Mono Red in round 2. This is the fastest league ever. If you like what you're seeing, make sure to hit the follow button down below. And if you really like what you're seeing, make sure you go click the links in the description below to both my Twitter, where you'll find all the deck lists I play and every time I go live, and my YouTube, where you'll find all the streams and some additional content. And if you're watching from the YouTube, remember, like the YouTube as well, and links to my Twitch, my Twitter, and all the deck lists are in the description below. And if you're in chat, you can always type !deck list. Yeah, we definitely drilled that guy's 3 additional chests. We got pretty lucky in a very unlucky match. Alright, this hand's pretty good. I believe I'll actually be able to cycle this sweltered or sheltered thicket as well, which is nice. I don't have the double red spells in my deck anymore, so I'm just going to go ahead and get a forest. Hey Ricky, how you doing today? Hope you're doing just great. This match can be a little hard, especially if they draw their walking ballistas, though. Well, at least it's not a sneakity-snakety. Alright, we need to draw less lands. How you been doing with Titan Shift? Red Rover, send less lands on over. Interesting. I feel like it's usually worth a block, but I'm not going to. We're doing pretty good. Watched the open, had some spaghetti, getting ready to brawl a face. Alright, Red Rover. So if he has a removal spell for the Pummeler, I just realize I'm dead. I'm fine with that. He doesn't have to have the removal spell. He very likely does. No. No. Feeling pretty good. My knees will probably be weak after I go walking a little bit. I have to get my exercise on. So if our opponent just doesn't play any spells, I feel real good about ourselves. Maybe he just like untaps and plays Giante or something. Blossoming defense one time? That's just another Electrostatic Pummeler. I don't know how I feel about that. I just assume he has some kind of removal spell, right? So, could just go for it. Just going for it doesn't seem great. Like, kind of ahead on board. So, like, going for it seems kind of poor. Alright, I'll just attack in and let him use a Fatal Push and cut myself tomorrow. Could also just play another Electrostatic Pummeler and not attack. I like playing another Pummeler and not attacking. I will bluff Blossoming defense, I guess. Who knows? Could draw it too. Activating his Fatal Pushes doesn't feel great for me in that spot. I probably am just attacking with everything this turn. Can't think of a reason that I wouldn't this turn. Especially if he taps his mana for any reason whatsoever. Oh, certainly just going for it this turn. Alright, let's make this guy giant. Well, I guess let's try to save this guy then. I think it's better to go ahead and rampage this guy again, in case he has a second grasp or whatever. Okay. If you're dead, say you're dead. Giante! Sorry. I apologize. As long as it's not too late to do the apologizing. Alright, so Black-Green's kind of a rough match, mostly because of Walking Ballista. It's one of the matches that I think you can go slightly grindier in. Typically take out the Flings here. Take out the larger than lives. It's not letting me pull cards out of my deck. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Moto, for being laggy. The Electrostatic Pummelers I like more on the play than on the draw. I don't like them a whole lot on the draw for the simple fact that, shoot. For the simple fact that, shoot, what am I trying to say here? I'm sorry. For the fact that, that walking ballista is just so brutal. Four invigorated rampages is probably too much, but I do like to keep them a little honest with it. Magma sprays aren't wonderful, but they can kill the glints. They can kill Rishkana. They can kill hissing quagmires that are trying to block. Have to mulligan. We have one creature and it's our 5-drop. Have to mulligan. We have no green mana. Alright, we'll keep. This hand's terrible. Not going to win. And they have their best turn 1 play. Probably their only turn 1 play, so. We just mulliganed that to the bottom, so that's pretty unfortunate. Every time that happens, I know that can happen just normal, but like Moto has so many bugs with Scry that every time that happens, I just assume it was a Moto bug. Yes, I realize it can happen naturally. Alright. Well, at least we had the double mulligan versus the Winding Constrictor hand. Untapped red mana, go. Untapped red mana, go. It's not an untapped red mana. Alright, well, I guess I'd rather kill this. Him getting extra cards is probably worse than him getting a couple counters. And there's that Gigante. Yeah, there's the Gigante. Yeah, whatever. Not in great shape here. If he just untaps and plays a Verdus Gearhulk, I'm willing to concede to it. Yes, I could have killed the Winding Constrictor, but I don't think I'm winning a game where I just killed a Winding Constrictor anyway. Oh, was that mine or theirs? So that was my Bristling Hydra. Well, that's pretty good for him. Congratulations. Yeah. I'm fine with that block. Pop off the Blossoming Defense here to keep it alive. Which will put us down to 0 red mana. So it puts us down to 0 red mana. That's fine. Rip. We're getting nowhere and we're getting there fast. To be completely honest, I'll probably just double block this turn if given the opportunity. Well, certainly not double blocking now. Considering I'm dead if I double block now. Make the only play I can. Can't see a world where we can win this game though. Still don't have a particularly good block. Alright. Opponent's smart. Alright. Well, that's enough of that. Dobbs on board. Alright, so going into game 3, we can go back to trying to combo film, which is really bad in the face of Walking Ballista, but like that's the only thing it's super bad versus. Or we can continue down this path that doesn't seem like this path can ever be useful. In general, I think I want these back. I mostly just don't want the Rampagers. And I mostly don't want the Magma Sprays either. So we're kind of like going to go a little mix of both. We're going to continue to cut the larger than lives because I don't really like the sorcery speed of it that much. We're going to bring in a couple Glory Bringers, and then because we're on the play, I think we're going to cut a Servant. Yeah, I think a Servant or two. They kind of just get Fatal pushed anyway. And I don't ever want to draw more than one. I only want to draw them kind of in the earliest turns of the game. So we'll play first. Alright, this hand's great. It may not be good enough versus their deck, but like, it's great. We have all of our aggressive 2-drops. We have one removal spell if he has a turn 2 sneakity snakity. Just kind of hope he doesn't have a Fatal push. No Fatal push. Hey, we dodged Fatal push. We're doing it, fam. Now we just want to draw a couple lands. That's a land. Onward. You are everything, little Voltaic Brawler. Just gonna cast a second Brawler here. We're trying to get our beat down on. It stops his blocks from being particularly good. We're certainly not blocking. I don't really care if he gets 2 energy. Blossoming Defense is a little annoying, but that's about it. If his best play is just casting a removal spell, we're not too worried about that. Again, just trying to kind of race here. Yes, we want to deal an extra damage. Blossoming Defense is about the best non-land card we could have drawn on that turn. So certainly not sad to see it. Gante was probably his best draw for this turn. Would not be enthusiastic to see a Gante on the other side of the table. It might make me sad. Oh. Alright, so I guess he's attacking. Well, certainly taking it. Again, trying to race. Yes, yes, trying to race. I'm rubbing my hands together maliciously, by the way. Like I'm a supervillain. Hey, local dope, what are you into? Hope you're having a splendidest of days. One time effer hub. That's not an effer hub. So 6. It would be 8 with the Blossoming Defense. So we would need double removal spell to beat us from Fling. Or to stop Fling from winning. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Get aided, friend. So opponent's down to 4, we have a Fling in our hand, and we have 2 things that technically have a power of 4. Seems to be a place that I'm happy about. Really kind of wanted an Ether Hub last turn. Doomfall. Target opponent reveals her hand. You choose a non-land card. Well, that's good for him. Because now he gets to take my Fling. If he has a removal spell, he has to crush one of my dudes and trade with the... Ooh, wow, that's not great for him. That's not great for him at all. So we want an Ether Hub again. That's not an Ether Hub. Yeah, so the best I can do is attack with this and trade them. If I attack with this and pump it up, they just trade off cleanly, and it leaves me with this little thing behind, which isn't particularly good. Alright, well, really needed to draw a land that turn, so now I'm not actually sure what to do. I don't really have a good attack anymore. I guess it's better to keep the Lone Tusk Cub going forward. Because it has 1 more toughness in case he has a Gearhulk or something to throw onto that. This kind of forces the block and lets him keep his energy, but I don't think his energy is that relevant right now. Man, that Doomfall is brutal. Us not drawing more lands was really what was brutal. Like, we were pretty far ahead. We could still get there, too. Like, just kind of need to fade a Gearhulk. Tap the Ether Hub first, which makes me think he's tapping 5 mana. Oh, wow. He hit a Glorybringer with Argante. A little depressing. Only because we have our own Gante or own Glorybringer in our hand that we can't. Alright, so this presents lethal. So he has to at least block with the Walking Ballista, which is good. Oh, and he's got a Blossoming Defense? Alright, well that's fine. We'll trade him off. Not real happy about it, but we'll do it. Alright, so we're just trying to draw an untapped land before he kills us. We're in a pretty good spot. Could be in a worse spot. That Glorybringer was great. And he drew another... Oh, sacrifice. Exiles a creature he or she controls. Alright, so we have at least 1 draw step, probably? Alright. I'm rubbing my hands together again. Big time. 1 time. Got there. Whee! Throw your hands in the air. Are y'all waving them like you just don't care? I was honestly waving my hands around. Yeah. Thank God that they didn't have their own 5-drop. Man, look at these frames just popping and locking over here on this other screen. So we got a little 2-1. We got to win one of the next two to lock up the pity chest. The pity chest. The pity chest. As I like to say between every round, if you like what you're watching, you should please follow us here on Twitch. And you should look in the description down below and follow my Twitter as well. On my Twitter, you can see every time I go live, every deck list I play, and random musings. On my YouTube, you'll find a link to all of our previous streams, some additional content that hasn't been streamed. And if you're watching from YouTube and you like the videos, make sure you like and follow it. And on every YouTube video, there is in the description a link to my Twitter, my Twitch, and the deck list. So I got a link a while ago that I was going to give you guys, and it just seems to be gone. Also, while you're all in here, you should go to the straw poll and tell me what you want me to play tomorrow. Anyway, so we won the dice roll for the first time today. And let's load it up. So this hand. I have 2 4-drops, 2 red spells, and a Pummeler with no pump spells, and 2 green mana that damages us. That's a pretty easy mulligan. And I guess we'll keep this. We'll certainly put that on top. Depending on what land they lead with first, it might alter the decision of what we play first. Yeah, I'm pretty happy just to play a Long Tusk Cub versus the green or versus the black blue decks. Could also be new perspectives. Either way, I think the Long Tusk Cub's better than the Servant. It's also the one that I mind him killing the least. So not only is it the better spell for me for it to stay in play, I also believe it's the better spell for me to not or also I think it's the better spell to be in play and the better spell to get killed. Yeah, I like my energy. I'm not going to spend my energy. Oh, okay. I guess I'm really not going to spend my energy then. I played this little dude because he used a grasp last turn. If he'd used a fatal push, I would have probably played the Servant. Yeah, I'm just going to cast this thing. It makes this guy huge if it resolves. So one time no fatal push? That would be grand. Yeah, so our opponent's just playing poorly in my opinion, but it's a pretty good match for our opponent. At neither time did he even give us the option to use our energy, which just seems excessively wrong. We missed our 4th land drop, which really sucks because when playing versus the blue-black control decks, one of the most important things to do is present threats on turn 4 and turn 5 so they can't cast glimmers. Like anytime they just get to pop off a glimmer, you're in exceptionally bad shape. Especially when they put on top. That seemed like a peculiar time for him to use that spell. Alright, anyway, we got a big boy in play. They have a Scarab God, that's fine. Big boy attacks through Scarab God. And by attacks through, I mean it just makes him block every turn or whatever. That's unfortunate. So I assume he's going to take some amount of damage this turn, but if he makes me spend all of my energy on the Hydra, I'm not going to complain. Their electrostatic pummeler is more threatening than mine, by the way. It's just kind of funny. So I really want to draw an invigorated rampage. This is probably our only chance to win this game. That is not an invigorated rampage. What can we do, Vin? Attack with this, and it just dies to that? Yeah, so we can't do anything. Gotcha. Well, at least an untapped land's usable now. He can make a very big pummeler. We also probably can't win from here. Can't really see how we would win from here. Maybe drawing an invigorated rampage and him tapping out for a torrential gearhulk or something would do it. It's about the only way I see from here. I don't think this is going to do anything. Okay. Fine with him counterspelling that, considering I didn't think it did anything anyway. All it did was put something in my graveyard so that he can buy it back with the pummeler and kill me. So now I have to like block both pummelers or I'm just dead. It's fine. We don't have enough mana for that. We're still mana shy from even having that prayer. Still mana shy from even having that prayer. Alright, well we're easily going to block those other two. Again, our one out is him like not having anything and using a gearhulk or something crazy. Yeah, never did get to land, so. No worries. We streamed blue-black control a few times, but didn't ever like how he sideboarded. Yep. We were dead on board anyway. Just wanted to make sure he did it. And we can only get to 8 with this, so there's no reason to even try to play the Fling. No reason to show him the Fling. Alright, so what's good in this match? Definitely don't want these Harness Lightnings, I don't think. Even though they're kind of good versus both Kalidas and Gifted Efferborn, so maybe we do want them. Tireless Tracker's okay, but again, we don't have a lot of land, so any game that we're probably trying to Tireless Tracker them, we're probably losing anyway. I think the Servants in general are kind of bad, though. I just don't like Servants versus decks like this. Alright, we'll try this. A little more aggressive of a deck. The sideboard that I used to use in our Ode list when the meta was a little bit different is we had some like planeswalkers and some shepherds and 3 trackers, and we were able to go over these blue-black decks pretty good. But this was all prior to Scarab God being a card. Like, Scarab God changes the match a pretty fair amount because we can't really go long versus Scarab God anymore. It's just like super hard to go long versus Scarab God. This is our Odor build of the deck. Anyway, we'll play first. And this hand's great. Don't have any decisions really to make here. It's just Cub, which is great. We don't have any double red spells, so we can go ahead and just grab a green source. We don't have to worry about that either. Again, also great. Him leading with a swamp, not so great. Most of the time that they lead with a swamp, it means they already have the fatal push, because they typically lead with the blue the other way. Yep, you can almost telegraph it. And he led with a second swamp, so you guys know what that means, right? That means we're getting ready to look across the table at a Grasp of Darkness, likely. And then we get counterspelled. There's no reason to play around Censor. Playing around Censor, they still have Answer Scatter, Disallow, and sometimes Supreme Will. Just doesn't do anything to play around it. They also have, out of most of their sideboards, like some Tutor Slaughters or whatever. So if they have the Tutor Slaughters or whatever, like even resolving it isn't great. So basically, there's just no reason to hold it. Some of them even have Doomfall. The fact that he took so long to censor that means he probably also still has a Tutor Slaughter. Or either he or I are lagging one since he's not ending the turn. Okay, there it goes. We did sideboard into Tireless Trackers, so I guess I'll just play one of these 2 lands. I would play another land if I drew it so I could play for a Supreme Will. But here we are again on turn 4 and we have nothing to play to stop him from casting Glimmer. And this is the most important turn of the game to play a spell. There's not very many decks that beat our beat the blue-black deck when it has a 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, and a 4-drop. The green belt's okay, but like it doesn't come out on turn 1. This is the big problem. Like, this deck's not a very fast deck. Oh, I definitely clicked Cycle. 100% clicked Cycle. It even had the graphic for me. Well, that's a bit of a tilt. That is a hardcore bit of a tilt. I don't think it mattered. Again, he's got the Glimmer. Like, I don't know what we could draw to actually win, but like that's still pretty aggravating. GameCube's like tapping and untapping my lands. Did you see it? It did it again. Like I tapped these two lands and it untapped it. I didn't press any buttons to untap those lands. Like the game did that. Yep. And if we don't draw something relevant, we just scoop. Alright, well that's 2 and 2. Again, I think our other sideboard's fine versus the control decks, but this sideboard's just never going to beat the control decks. Well, like, we're maxed out on 8 cards for the mono-red match. It's something that I said a long time ago when we were playing this deck. Like, I felt like I could beat the more mid-rangier / control decks, or I felt I could beat the aggressive decks. I never feel like there's a sideboard playing that lets me beat both decks. So it's like, pick what you're losing to. And this match is this particular sideboard's a little better versus the Mardu vehicle decks and things of that nature, which have been more popular over the last week or so. But it's Magic. You can't care when you lose at Magic. It's just not that big of a deal. Do care when you get slapped with a Moto bug a little bit, but again, it's also not that big of a deal. And maybe I just misclicked. Who knows? Maybe the old Ray's eyes are playing tricks on the Ray. For those who don't know, I'm the Ray. So what is everybody into? Anybody at all responding to the straw poll to tell me what to stream tomorrow? Nope. Nobody at all. Nobody cares what I stream. Just watching me because nobody else is here. What? Stop that phone. Yeah, I'll link it again. Sorry. I'm moving this to the other monitor for now. Somebody wants to borrow cards, so... It's a 3-minute queue today. That's kind of a long queue. What? This trade has been cancelled. It's kind of a quiet day. Hey, and we got our 5th match for today. So, playing for that pity chest. And this hand's acceptable. No. No, that is not what's going to happen. I'll probably also post that on Twitter and Facebook as well and hope that one of them's an overwhelming favorite. And if it's a draw, I'll just play when I'm in the mood to play. What do you think about that? So our opponent's mulligan to 6 and he's capped. He's having a bit of a tank on his top card. I was thinking about doing 2 leagues tonight, but I am dropping frames left and right, so 2 leagues aren't likely to happen because of that. Please don't be the 3rd mono red deck. That would be brutal. Wow. That is in fact brutal. So we're playing versus a deck that I actively consider bad versus mono red, and I'm going to ended up playing versus it 6 out of 10 rounds. Well, I tried to open trade with you multiple times, Ricky, and it didn't work. Multiple times. Untapped land? Not an untapped land. I'll try again, sir. We're not in very good shape. Just don't really have anything going on right now. Whoops. Get off this monitor. Sorry about that, guys. They're getting very, very close to their 5th mana, and their 5th mana ends the game. Or sorry, not their 5th mana, their Hazard ends the game, and they're getting closer and closer to Hazard, is what I'm trying to say. Yep. Like I said, Hazard just kind of ends the game. That's not Hazard, at least. No problem. It's Sean's card. Thank him. Just gonna go ahead and slam it. If we get the 4th mana, I would rather just be playing Blossoming Defenses anyway. Of course. One time 4th mana? Nope, not a 4th mana. We did draw our 3rd lightning. It's 21 lands. And 4 attunes, so there's 25 lands in the deck. For a deck that ends at 4 mana. And we're just dead. Have no out. It's a little discouraging. It's part of Magic, though. It's not super discouraging. Anyway, so we want all of these cards in. Basically sideboarding out all the combo pieces. They just have way too many removal spells for any of the combo pieces to ever work. They have the type of draw that we can typically beat. But it's part of it. Getting paired versus 6 out of 10 rounds getting paired versus mono red, though, is kind of a dagger. Because I guarantee you, as soon as we put a deck together that beats mono red, we get paired versus ramp. 6 out of 10 rounds or whatever. That's how it's been for me the past couple of weeks. And one of the reasons I actually think this standard format's been terrible, whereas a lot of people have thought it's been very good. We'll keep. Standards felt like modern this season to me. Alright, well, the Voltaic Brawler is more throwaway than the Cub, so we'll start with it. They didn't have a removal spell. It's also a slightly better attacker. Not gonna pump it up. Yeah, all of the it's not just that there's a million decks. It's that like every deck beats like 7 decks and loses to 4 decks or whatever. Teamer and Mono Red might be the 2 exceptions. All right, you got it. But like it just kind of feels pretty savage. Hopefully they don't have a Chandra's defeat. If they do, we in bad shape. I guess I have to hit no again, because right now we have enough energy to keep it in play 2 turns. You technically attack for lethal next turn with the Blossoming Defense if they have absolutely nothing. Like, the format's not terrible. I think I misspoke when I said that. It's just not felt great to me. I like a format that's got just very good matches. Guess that's the way to put it. So he can minus some Brawler and Chump Block the Hylian to get another turn if he wants? That's not good for me. Or he can uptick it and play a removal spell. Okay, that's also not good for me. Alright, well, we got 1 turn to draw a land. Guess what we didn't draw, folks? The other build of the deck has 22 lands as well. So a Hazoret would be unbeatable for us here. We do have 1 Chandra's Defeat in our deck. Yeah, well, I guess we'll try to save it. So this could be the last turn our Hylian's ever alive. That was a good draw. Oh, and that. Wow. On a positive note, we can keep this around if we want. On the not positive note is he's got too good of blocks and it doesn't really matter. Alright. Guess we'll kill both his guys and deal 1 damage to that thing. Just needed to land basically both games for multiple turns. So we missed 3 land drops this game so far. I think P is good versus a lot of decks actually. So we're taking 5 that turn. There we go. There's something we were wanting. Kind of still feel like I have to attack Deshandra even though I don't want to. This leaves us with 1 fairly decent blocker in the Hydra. Still probably just dead to hazard it, but... Down to 9. He'd have probably done that a lot faster if he had a hazard it, so at least that's good. Yep. Pretty okay with blocking, I think. So I either go down to 7... or give him a 4/4? Alright, we'll go down to 7. Pretty sure I'm fine with this attack. He may have to chump block here. Kind of messed up. I should have played the Bristling Hydra before I attacked. That was a bit of a misplay. Definitely did not play that turn well. Ended up not mattering, but I still didn't play it well. Ended up not mattering, but it was still a misplay. The way I played it exposed both that Hydra and this Hydra to removal spells. If I'd played it the other way and cast the Hydra pre-combat, neither of them would have been exposed, but if I'd cast it pre-combat, he didn't have to chump block. Like, he didn't have to play around anything. So, like, there wasn't really a good option. Alright, so moving into the sideboard, I really don't think I like anything differently. Still think the Glorybringer's okay. It's not good, but like, a Tireless Tracker is also not good. So, now that he saw the... I guess now that he saw the Lafnium Heliums, he's more likely to bring in Chandra's Defeat. So we're currently 2-2 versus the mono red decks. Or is that right? No, we went 1-2 yesterday. No, I guess I'm misspeaking. This is just 5. This is 5 rounds in 5 rounds versus mono red in the last 10, not 6. Yeah. What do we got here in this hand? This hand's acceptable, probably. It's a little slow. I think we have to keep it, though. Without drawing any of our magma sprays and stuff, I don't really think we're going to be able to win. I have a serious question. If Jester's Cap was in the board of a vintage shops deck, what would they bring it in versus? Combo decks. Just combo decks in general. Paradoxical, Storm, stuff like that. The Tinker Blightsteel decks. Just things of that nature in general. So we want a green source here really bad. That's not a green source. So we can prevent 2 damage, which would also let us play the Rampager next turn. And also, I have trade open with you, or I have everything in a binder that I have that you need. So you can open trade whenever. So a little Beaumont. Little Beaumonty. Us missing a green source that turn was pretty brutal. And I believe I still have to kill the Beaumont. This is technically better to let him attack. Oh, you bought it all? Alright, never mind then. So really just wanting to hit a green source again next turn. Must have an untapped land source this turn if we want to be competitive in this game. Guess I should have been more specific. Alright, well, I'm going to play the one that can't be killed with a... I guess I'm not. Just going to cast Long Tusk Cub, right? So if we play any of these 2-drops... The disadvantage is Shocks and Abrades kill them all on this turn, and Cinderay Flow kills them next turn. The Greenbelt Rampager technically plays around all of that, but saving the Greenbelt Rampager gives me 2 plays for the following turn. I think getting 2 plays is better. So if getting 2 plays is better than playing the one that also plays around Shocks a little bit better, it still dies to Abrade. But getting to play 2 plays next turn seems like it matters a little bit more than playing the card that may or may not survive this turn. Like, he could have easily just had a Shock. And he could easily untap and have Chandra or Collective Defiance, so like playing the other card doesn't necessarily work out 100% of the time either. Turns out it seems like it would have worked out better this turn, but... So they had to Shock too. So now we're trying to fade a lot of things. And they drew a Glorybringer, so that's probably game unless we draw our Chandra's Defeat. Looks like we'll have one more turn to draw it. Can draw Harness Lightning too. There's 2 more Harness Lightnings in the deck. If he has a second Glorybringer, we're obviously just dead, but... One time? Not one time. Well, we don't want to win by not attacking, so... Probably don't win no matter what, but we certainly don't win by not attacking. That's actually kind of good for me. And by good for me, that means I'm imagining that means he has a burn spell in his hand. So I'm kind of imagining on probably on no outs now. Just takes any shock and we're dead. Well, that wasn't a shock at least. Well, he didn't exert, so... To see what's in his hand, but... Maybe we can still draw Harness Lightning or Chandra's Defeat. So we could have 3 outs. And that's none of them. Good game. Well, we got smashed in this league. See, round 1 we lost to mono red. Round 2 we beat mono red. Round 3 we lost to round 5 we lost to mono red. Round 4 we lost to blue black control. And round 3, I don't remember what it was. Oh, this is the green black player. We only got to use Pummeler on one person. I like how it just like closed that window entirely when I was trying to minimize it. I can delete this folder. Anyway, so that's probably it for today. Come on. I like how Modo always resizes things annoyingly. Hopefully they fix things like this in MTG Arena, but that's going to be it for me for now. I may or may not come back later, depending on whether my League of Legends crew logs on. Remember, if you should do a double JS. I don't even know what double JS means. Double jump shot? I don't play basketball. Son, I don't even like to go outside. But thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching all of that. Sorry that it went poorly. Remember, respond to the straw poll if you want to see what we're going to try to play tomorrow. And we're going to look for somebody to host real quick, and then we're going to take off. Looks like Jeff Hooligan is the only person that's online that I watch that isn't playing Cube. I really don't want to host anybody that's playing Cube. Yep. So I'm gonna host Jeff Hooligan. He has me blocked, but that's okay. He's still a pretty good streamer. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.